Hey, hello guys.
Hello guys,
This is Great Shtikensa.
and this is Great Nikolai.
She is beautiful gamer and she would go to the most difficult and dangerous online RPG game, to Tomnet. So today we would discuss Tomnet as the most dangerous and scary game ever, because I played quite kinda almost all online games, because it's my profession. I write articles about online games, I make videos about online games reviews, so I saw a lot of games, and Tomnet, it's the most adrenaline, the most complex, and yes, it's very interesting game. And Stukense would ask some questions about it, because she wants to start to play it, and she has some questions.
So I saw while you playing Tomnet, and I saw that sometimes you just feeling that scariness, like you're shaking, like
Yeah, it's very scary
what's
sometimes.
happening? And I just like to ask you, what exactly scares in this game?
The most scary thing in Tomnet is that you can't predict what you meet. In the most games, it's very understandable what you would meet when you open a door. You could think, oh, it would be such monsters, they would be with such strength, so you could understand what to expect. And in Tomnet, when you go to the next level, you can't tell. It could be a deadly level, and you have to run from it. Or it could be very calm place. Also, if you already at the level and you look around, you could think, oh, it's okay level, and you could go through it, and then you would see invisible monsters, or you could see monsters which you can't feel with ESP, or cold blooded monsters which you can't feel with infravision. So it could just crush you. You could be in very bad place. So this random level generation, it's true level random generation, because in Diablo, for example, or in Path of Exile, in all these graphical games, all levels they generated from ready pieces. So it's not really random generation. And monsters also, they very you can't meet something very harsh. And in Tamnet it's possible, and it's just very complex game. It has complex physics. It has complex properties of monsters. They could make just crazy things with you, and that's why sometimes you have a lot of scariness in your blood.
And what about
Adrenaline.
atmosphere of the game? Sometimes I see games like World of Warcraft, and they have very cute locations, so you don't feel any scariness in these cute locations. And for instance, in Diablo, you have the skeletons and this scary atmosphere. But what about atmosphere in Tomnet? Is it scary in general, or is it cute?
In general, it's scary, but cities quite cute. For example, Bree, when you just appear, when you start to play, it's a Bree. It's a place which you could find in Tolkien's John Ronald Reuel Tolkien's book. So in Lord of the Rings. So this is very cute place, and it's very nice, beautiful music. It could be raining there. It could be different types of seasons, from snow to brightness of summer. And still, when you go down in every dungeon, it would be very scary. So also in Tomnet you have different towns. Some of them not so safe towns sometimes. So Tomnet is very different game. I mean, a lot of places they are very different from each other, and atmosphere of the game is depend on your imagination. So actually, you could just sit and a bit to relax a bit and get to this game. You could move your mind there, and you could try to imagine what's happening around, and it gives quite good effect. So all people who play roguelike games, they train their imagination and they become better and better in it. So it's very useful actually. Playing roguelike games, and especially Tomnet, because it's online roguelike game, it's very good exercise for your imagination. And this atmosphere, it depends only on you. It's not depend on people who draw location World of Warcraft. And of course, all these locations, they have a lot of glitches, they have a lot of not realistical stuff there, a lot of holes, these angles. So even the best graphic and the best games right now, for example Far Cry, they're quite far from real world. But our imagination, it could create something even more realistical than real world. So Tamnet, it's ideal game to have something very special in atmosphere.
And if you compare, for instance, shooter like Doom, very scary.
Yeah, Doom is a scary game.
And the scariest thing in Doom, my opinion, is that you go in darkness and something unexpected suddenly like ah! And do you have in this game such situations like?
You have such situations, but it's not like something grow from your screen like this. No, you could just see your character, small one, and you could meet different situation. In most cases, Tamnet, it's about situation. It's not about meeting one monster. It's not. It's all about positioning your character. It's all about reacting at the situation which happened around you. So sometimes you could be in very dangerous situations. You could go into very dangerous situations, and this game is actually about saving your life. So as you could read in the guide, Tamnet guide, Tamnet, it's the game. It's art of not dying. So Tamnet, cool. Playing Tamnet, it's art not to die. And these situations, when suddenly something appears, it's very common in Tamnet actually. So it's like every second you could meet something like this.
So maybe I just think when I hear your объяснение, explanation, I think that maybe that level of scariness depends on how risky you play and how safe situations you choose. So is it true or not?
You know, even if you play very safely, if you do not go in risky situations, you would still meet them.
Okay.
In Tamnet, in every second, at every level, it has some chance to any monster appear there. Almost any monster. So sometimes I met such monsters, and when I just learned how to play it, first I died a lot because of it. But right now I feel that my skill is quite high, so much higher than before, and I could react when I see something appeared. I could try to prevent my death, and I'm quite successful in it yet. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting that you can't be safe even if you play very carefully. But of course you could reduce this probability of dying a bit with it. So, but what's important, in Tamnet there are several different modes of playing. You could play everlasting character, which could resurrect in infinite times, and you could play non-everlasting character, a character which has only one life or 3 lives. So I play always with character with 1 life, and it makes actually game as it is. I mean, it's the only best mode in my opinion, because here you learn your mistakes very good. Because when you play a character for several hours, several days, and then you die and everything disappears, you learn this actually. So after 20-30 deaths you become much better player than in everlasting mode, and it's other emotions. So when you know that you can't die, it's a lot of adrenaline, it's a lot of scariness, it's a lot of emotions. It's what makes Tamnet for me. So but of course if you're a new player, it could be not bad idea to try everlasting. But yeah, I started as mortal character, and I still recommend everybody to play such mode.
And if you will make a top 3 or top 5, I think top 5, the scariest game you played, what would it be?
At first place, of course, Tamnet. At
Cool.
second, I think it would be Diablo 2 at
Okay.
hardcore mode. At third, it would be Diablo 1, because Diablo 1 is also quite hardcore game even without this hardcore mod. Because when you die, all your items dropped on the ground and everybody could take it. So, but still, why I place Diablo 1 at third place, because it has very dark and scary atmosphere. That's why. More than Diablo 2 even, but Diablo 2 has hardcore mode and a lot of PvP. It made game more scary actually.
Okay.
So at fourth place, I think it would be Ultima Online, because you could also lose all your items there and a lot of dangerous situations, a lot of scariness around with these all player killers and awful monsters. So it's fourth place, Ultima Online. And fifth place, it's hard to decide. A lot of other games with full loot system could be Darkfall Online, Mortal Online, or maybe even a lot too when you play at the most complex difficulty. It's also very scary. So yeah, in any online game where you have something to lose, it's scary. Yeah, because if Tamnet would be just a game where you can't lose items, where you can't lose character, it would be not scary also game. It would be just common MMORPG like World of Warcraft. But in Tamnet, these situations, why it's so interesting to play, because these situations you need to solve it. If you do not solve these situations, if you wouldn't fight or you wouldn't run, you need to decide something. You would lose everything, and it makes sense actually.
It's very interesting that you didn't choose any shooter among the scariest games.
No, shooters.
You don't think they're scary?
I think Quake it's quite scary game, more scary than Doom, for example. Half-Life could be scary sometimes, but for me it's not real emotions, because in shooters you could always, it's not online games actually, so you could always save, load, and in online games it's for real, you could lose everything, so it's quite different thing.
Oh, very interesting. Okay, so thank you.
Okay guys, please tell your questions, tell your comments below this video at YouTube. We would wait for them, and please ask us, maybe suggest any new ideas for new videos. We'll be very glad to talk
Yes.
about it. So
That's true.
see you later. Bye bye.
Alligator.
Later, Matt.
Bye bye.